Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Unexplained Cases Medium. I'm Rick Garner, your executive producer, along with Maryam the Medium. So, hey, happy Sunday afternoon to you, Maryam. Oh, I can't hear you. How did that happen? Silliness. No, I can't hear you. So let's try this, and let's try that. And did that help? Nice. I think we'll have to do you drop, and I'll bring you back in. Let's play it by that routine there, actually. You know, and I don't want to kill time. I'm going to tap dance while you do that. We just had started talking about how funny this system can be sometimes, basically with audio. A little bit of the quirkiness of it, which normally doesn't happen. But I just told her, I was like, how could there be a problem with it just being the two of us? And there you go. So, hey, Debbie, hey, Carrie, and Velvet. My goodness, thanks so much for joining. Let's try this again, shall we?
Hi.
Look at that. See, that always works.
It's our secret.
I know, right? It's a little bada-boom, bada-ba-dee, bippity-boppity-boo. I was asking you the question. Happy Sunday. How's everything going?
Hi, everything's really good here. It's a nice 75 degrees in Los Angeles.
It's always beautiful weather. You know, what are you talking about? So
yeah.
Hey, let's see. Hello, first time being here. Dee, welcome. And also
hi, Dee.
Melanie, and I'd already mentioned Carrie and Debbie and Velvet when you'd stepped away there. So we got a few people that are coming along there. But, hello, Vicky. So that's making me think of Mrs. Doubtfire. Hello. And Tammy, hi from New York. Hey, welcome to the program. So, guys, this is actually our second installment of this program, and so this is actually an opportunity to focus on a few very specific things. Hey, Mary, welcome to the show. And we talked about it. It's pick a card. It's readings. It's also being able to touch on a lot of cases that Myram's had a chance to be able to check on, but we haven't been able to roll them out to you just yet. This is the vehicle to do that. And then also future, we'd also have some live interviews. But, I guess we could probably, without further ado, get to the first item on the agenda that we knock off on the show is the pick a card.
All right. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, for those of you that are new to pick a card, what I do is I hold up 3 cards and you're going to pick one. Okay. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how pick a card works, why the power lies in you and not me and not the cards, because it's all about you using your intuition. It's all about you honing in and asking spirit, what do I need to know? And do I need to know anything today? So for those of you that do pick a cards a lot, if you find that every single time it works out great, beautiful. If you find that sometimes you do it and you're not, the information's kind of like, I don't know, you probably didn't need to do it that day, or there isn't information for you. Okay. Now, when you strengthen your intuition, that's something you're going to know. You're going to know on your own. Do I need to do this pick a card right now? Or am I ready for this information? Also understanding that our intuition intuition's funny because on one hand, it ultimately is very gentle. It's like this quiet nudge, right? I kind of was thinking over the weekend how to explain it to you guys. And I feel like in some ways, it's kind of like if you stand underneath the hot sun. You feel the sun, even with your eyes closed, you see the sun. And it's this just awareness that you feel and see and know. It's not this like huge thing that hits you over the head. It's not this loud voice in your head. It's really the opposite of that. Typically, those loud voices in our head are emotionally charged thoughts, emotions. And what we want to do is move to our gut. So there's this understanding of the gut brain, the heart brain, and the head brain. So the gut brain is where our intuition sits and lives. Our heart is obviously where love, knowledge, awareness, and the head brain is twofold, right? There's the power of the mind or the brain that you don't want to underestimate, but there's also the power of our ability to connect to spirit above. Okay. But right now, what I want to talk about is the gut brain, which means the gut tells us things. I feel it in my gut. It was a gut feeling. All of those sayings are for a reason because we feel in our gut. Now, everyone feels intuition different. Some people feel it, some people see it, some people hear it. Some of us feel all of that. Is no right or wrong way. And sometimes it can be actually hard to determine which one is you, you know? Sometimes that intuition comes through and you really don't know if you felt it, heard it, or saw it, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You mean that's something fun to find out for your own sake, but ultimately it doesn't matter, right? So what I want you to do before we pick a card, I want you to close your eyes and we're going to take 3 really deep breaths. What I want you to do is get connected to your gut. So I want you to let your belly out. Like, don't hold it in. Actually, push it out if you need to. Okay. Close your eyes. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths. We're going to inhale through the nose. So go ahead and take a deep inhale, slow and controlled. And when you do that, really let the belly expand out. Okay. And then you're going to exhale through the mouth or through the nose, whatever you need, and feel how the belly naturally pulls in. Don't force it. Just let it do what it does naturally. Okay. So again, deep inhale, feel that belly reach out, expand the belly, let it get big. You want that belly to feel big. All right. And then we're going to exhale, feel the belly pull in. One more breath. I want you to inhale, really get that belly out, push that belly out, let it expand. The opposite of what we do all day, right? Don't pull that belly in, push it out, and then let it naturally pull back in. Okay? Just sit for a minute here. Let your breath come back to normal. Just be still. Just allow the breath to move. Let's not stop it, but notice if it's deep. If it's shallow, just notice that. Couple more breaths here. Go ahead in your mind, ask spirit what I need to know. Is there anything I need to know? Maybe there isn't today. Maybe there is. And then you're going to move towards the card that you feel a pull towards. It may be a very gentle pull. Now, some of you might feel a really strong pull, and that's fine too. Right? There's no rules here. Everyone's intuition exists and it exists differently for all of us. So just allow yourself to move towards the card. So go ahead and open your eyes. Card 1, card 2, card 3, card 1, card 2, card 3. Okay. Card 1. Card 1. This is all about moving away from control. Those that you felt controlled you, those that you felt had power over you, those that you felt somehow had control over your choices, navigating your life, and realizing that you can cut that away and actually create your own life with your own choices. And that those that we feel control us, boss, parents, whatever, that's all in the head. Not saying it's not real. I'm saying we choose to believe that somebody can make or break us. We choose to believe that someone has control over us. Well, I can fire you. Well, then when I don't have a job, okay, well, you'll be okay. You're not alone. You have spirit. You have friends, you have support. So someone can fire you, but they can't destroy you. Only you could then destroy you, right? Same with parents telling you you can't make it, or you shouldn't be you. You shouldn't feel a certain way. You shouldn't come out as you. You know, that's words. It's words, because you know who you are and you can make a life as you, right? So this is about moving into who you are in a very powerful way and cutting away some really heavy people and experiences that were trying to hold you down and trying to keep you in a position of lack. And let me clarify something. People don't typically do that on purpose. People don't typically mean to make you feel bad about yourself or mean to hold you down. They are doing what was done to them. They're not conscious enough to know, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't pass that on. Also, people are very scared of others who are empowered by who they are, who are empowered by making bold choices, scary choices that go against the norm. That scares people because it shows them what they're not doing, how they're not being bold, how they're not overcoming. And that should bring compassion to them. We should bring compassion to them for that. Feeling not sorry for, but compassionate for the fact that they don't have the strength yet to be who they want to be and to make bold choices like you have made or are about to make or have been thinking about making. And so that person that's been hovering over here, who we feel has been controlling us or holding us down or hurting us, let's find that compassion for them because they are lacking in that strength and power that you have come into and that you should honor. Card one. All right. Card two, vulnerability. Card two. This is about being vulnerable. This is about stating your case. This is about um, standing in the position you're in and not backing down. This isn't about fighting. This is about you being clear about this position you're holding, whether it's you fighting for your job or you fighting for a relationship. Um, it's the time is now to stand firm in that fight and to own it and to say, this is where I'm at. This is who I am. This is what I believe in. This is what I want. And I want to do whatever I need to get that. And when I say do whatever, of course, with compassion, with love, not hurting others, but this moment for you, card two, is about standing in that and holding your ground and pushing through that because it's time for you to get that which you have been striving for. It's time for you to reach that, to grab onto that, to own it, and to stand in vulnerability, which means I owned this. I said I was going to go for it. I went for it, and I'm going to own the repercussions of it. It's a very vulnerable position to be in, but a very powerful position to be in. Okay? Card two. Card three. Okay, card three. This is all about planting seeds, but not just planting seeds with planting seeds and then fertilizing them and then watching them grow and confidently knowing that what you have created, what you have planted, what you have nurtured, what you have put out there is going to grow. This is an interesting time for a lot of people, meaning but all three of these cards are talking about strength and power and knowing who we are. And obviously we're seeing that in our world of realizing how important Black lives are, how important transgender lives are, that they are key to moving the civilization forward. And how does that apply to you? Because if you stand and own your achievements, and if you choose to make bold choices, you can then reach your hand out to someone who's scared to do that for themselves because they have other challenges you may not have, and say, I'm going to help you down this road. I didn't have that challenge, but I can support you because you have extra challenges that I didn't have. So back to card 3, planting. You either are or have planted your seeds. They're growing. The confidence that you should have, continue to own it. And if you don't have confidence, you better find it, because you've planted seeds and those seeds are about to grow. And if you don't have the confidence to carry them, it's all going to go away. Okay. So if you are looking to build a relationship, build a job or a career, whatever it is this is for you, you have planted those seeds, or you are going to plant those seeds. But here's the warning: you better own it, and you better take serious pride and confidence in it, or else it will go away. Now, the catch is knowing that when you plant these seeds and prepare yourself for success, you're going to be asked to change. So you're confident now. Remain confident in the changes that come your way. Remain confident in what's being asked of you. If you will be asked to change. You will be asked to grow. You will be asked to do things different. That's okay. Be different. Grow. Growth is imperative. It's all we have is growth. And if we aren't growing, what are we doing, right? So card 3, you've planted those seeds. You've watered those seeds. Your confidence should be there. Doesn't matter what it looks like right now. If you're feeling like it's kind of like dry and you're like, nothing's really moving or happening, hang on. It will. Hang on. But have confidence in it. Don't start spiraling down to this place of, oh, I suck and it's never going to happen and this and that, because then it's going to destroy all your crops, right? Your crops are requiring you to stand and water, confidently water and water and water and water, and believe and believe and believe, and know and know and know. And even if it's quiet, even if things aren't happening the way you want them to, even if things aren't looking the way you want them to, that's okay. That's going to change. Okay? Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Fabulous. As always, thank you for sharing that, because I can tell from the comments that that's been rather impactful for quite a few folks. So there's been a lot of good, like Pam was saying, that totally resonates, and Nikki had a wow, thank you. Teresa had a thank you. So that's
I'm so happy to hear.
Awesome.
Okay, good.
Thanks everyone, guys. So also I've been telling some folks, just wait, just be patient. We'll get to. I'd ask for questions and ask for readings, and people were wanting that. So I was like, I just want to make sure. No, I am seeing that. We're certainly seeing it. We're queuing that up because basically we kind of tackle a few things along the way, and one of them would be, in case folks don't know, we have a 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific time live show called Unexplained Cases Live. And that show basically has an opportunity for you to display some very particularly fascinating talents of yours that we've called remote viewing, which that's basically what it is, go into some locations. And so tonight we have a location, although if I'm going to talk about it a little bit, I think you may have to, pull the old earbuds there, because I wouldn't want to. Right. I wouldn't want to give her any details on that.
Okay, bye.
Okay, that's fine. Yes. So see, just in case people think that it's like, oh, she may know some stuff or whatever, it's like, no details. So where we're going tonight, actually, we have a special guest, Angela Bowley is going to be checking in with us. And she is a very special artist. And so she chose this location right here. This is the Post Town Elementary School. This is in Middleton, Ohio. And I'm actually giving you a little sneak peek of some B-roll that we're going to be using, and it's a walkthrough for it. And just to tell you a little bit about this location, in July 4th, 1910, there was a horrific train accident that occurred when an engineer of the Big Four passenger train ran off schedule after a detour. And this caused mass chaos. And when the second train full of freight saw that the original train, by the time they saw it, it was too late. And two cars closest to the engine, basically everyone in those compartments perished. Ended up being 36 deaths out of this. Also, there was a flood in 1913 that impacted this. So, of course, the question would be, with a bit of tragedy around this school, does that play into the hauntings that have happened here? There's been EVPs, there's been doors that open. There's quite a bit of history. I don't want to get into all of the details for it. Basically, that's something that we can find out tonight. But part of that is also going to be able to see what artistry that Angela will be able to share us tonight. So tune in tonight. That will be at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific for that live show. Yep. So I'll give you the signal. So she heard none of those details. So didn't want to, that's something that folks also don't, I don't necessarily know if folks truly believe that, basically, because there's always the thought of like, oh, sure, maybe you Googled this location or read about it or knew something, or even if it's a famous location, it's like, oh, surely she's heard about that or whatever. But that's part of folks needing to be aware, is like, you have no details about these locations going into them. And
Right.
That's an important fact for folks to realize.
And I think a lot of mediums actually work like that, where they don't. Two reasons. One is, most important, and I think other mediums may agree, is once the mind starts going, once you give me information, the mind starts going, and you're like, okay, shush, whereas if I don't know anything, I'm just feeling. But if someone says, and honestly, what's interesting, I'll be honest, when Rick, sometimes you give me cases like missing person cases that are recent, sometimes I'll get an anxiety and I can't read it because I can feel the pain around the family, and I can't get past that because I'm too scared. What if I find out something terrible? And sometimes that happens when I'm looking for lost pets too. It's like, I make sure that the parents don't get on the phone with me, don't say anything, just send me a picture of their house and the pet, because then once my heart and my head get involved, it's really hard to move past that.
Right. And I don't think folks necessarily realize, because they're not aware of the process or how it works. But, ultimately, I guess it could kind of be like with anything, basically, we can get in the way, and stepping aside, basically, then that can basically be where the information is truest.
Yeah.
Which that ties into, I guess, the next portion that we'll go ahead and slide into. Folks, again, you're not necessarily familiar with the rhythm of this. We'll definitely always kick things off with a pick a card. We'll try to talk about tonight's show, but then also we will always have a special case. And these are cases that they come from a variety of places. As Myram just mentioned, maybe I reached out to her and be like, hey, here's this account, here's a story, could you check into it? And that session is recorded, and then maybe we've turned it into an episodic episode in the past, but in this case, we'll try to feature them here. This particular case, I don't necessarily know how much detail you recall, because I also know that we had to protect names, which I'll go ahead and say, folks, if you think that there's an audio problem, I actually have eliminated every time a name is mentioned. So that's not your connection or whatever. That's an intentional edit that we've removed that. And sometimes we have to do that for people's, at their request or safety or anything like that. So is there anything about this particular case that you recall? Because it's a local one, actually, from Los Angeles. I believe a mom had reached out to you with some concern.
So here's the thing. After I do readings, I never retain the information. Like it just goes away. So I genuinely have no idea.
And that's okay, because I half asked that question thinking that that's exactly what you were going to say, because I wanted to let people realize, again, that's what's important about the integrity and the realness of the situation. It's, you know, it's not like this stuff is scripted, or there's some, you know, formula. Basically, there's this, you're going into this moment, and the moment can pass, which is also why it's great that these things are recorded, to be able to go back and be able to review it. So without further ado, I will go ahead and I will share this for everybody's viewing pleasure.
So I wanted to record this reading I'm doing for a client whose friend has had these weird situations happening where he doesn't remember, but he falls on the ground and says stuff like, "I'm coming after you, I'm going to get you." Really, really dark. No history of mental illness, perfectly fine prior, and then he doesn't remember what's happened after he's done it. So I wanted to read him, put this on camera, and see what dark energy is around him. So a lot of times when I look at, read people that have dark energy or feel like they're possessed or they have something around them, it's not that. It's, you know, these people are choosing to move towards these darker energies. They're choosing to bring this into their life because they're desperate. They're looking for guidance. They're looking for support in this darker realm, darker world. They're looking for an energy to support their pain, their anger, their suffering, whatever that is. And so they're not victims to it. Even if they aren't aware of it, once I bring this to their attention, it's up to them to change it, turn it around, and turn them around and ask this energy to not be there. In this situation in particular, there is an energy attached. So there is a little bit of pushback from, he definitely, he's feeling it on his shoulder and doesn't want this energy there. But he's also not pushing it away. This is the hard part. His girlfriend wants this energy around. She actually calls this energy in. She has the consciousness to do that and prefers to have darker energy surrounding. So I'm going to speak to this dark energy right now. It doesn't want me, obviously, near it. It's ignoring me, actually, pretending like it doesn't see me or feel me. I'm asking him what he wants with it. He's saying it's what he wants with me. He wants me around. I'm going to stand in between the two of them and see what happens. The energy is actually able to continue to penetrate through me to him because it's open to it. Which tells me this is, you know, so much of this lies on, and the problem is, has this strong connection with his girlfriend, and the girlfriend works very closely with this dark energy, with many dark energies. And so there's this bond that is not for me to break. It's not for me to get in the middle of. Now, came to me together and said, I want this gone. I do not want this in our space. I do not want this in our house. I do not want us dealing with it. That's very different. And then I could remove this energy. But this energy has made it very clear that he's bonded and connected to the two of them and called him in. And is in a sense the victim of this. But keep in mind, none of us are victims. We all choose, okay? Whether we're choosing consciously or unconsciously, we're choosing, which is why it's so important for us to choose consciously. Choosing consciously means we are connected to spirit. We are in meditation. We have a daily practice. We are aware of our words, our thoughts. That's a conscious decision. We are aware of choices we make that affect us, others, and the planet. That's how we act consciously. These people are not acting consciously, okay? And so there's this unconscious movement happening that is allowing these dark energies to play. And listen, dark energies can play in all kinds of environments that welcome them in, that want them there. And more people than not welcome in dark energy because they are looking for something other than themselves, something bigger than themselves. But really what these people are looking for is spirit, their connection to their higher self, their connection to who they were before they came into body. But they don't, they take a different path. This lifetime is about different lessons for them. So what do we want to do here? What do we want? What do you want to do with these people? Why are you here? They want me to manage and manipulate their lives. They want me to be here to. What do you bring to their lives, though? I don't understand. What do you bring to their lives? Depth. This energy is saying, I bring depth. I also bring opportunity. I bring them things that feeds the relationship, that keeps the relationship going. Who's keeping you here? Who's keeping you here? Who's keeping you in this relationship? He says. You can't. He asked if he could speak through me to all of you. And I said, no, I don't allow energies to enter my body. Then he says, so what are you doing here? What do you want? I've been asked to come to find out if I can help him disconnect from you. You can't help. He wants to be in this, and his wants me to be in this. They want me here. They want me in this. If you want to get out of this, you have to leave the relationship you're in. It's almost as if you're being fed, you're being brainwashed. And you have to be open to knowing that and seeing that you are being brainwashed. You're being fed information that's not true. But you have to be willing to walk away. He's not willing to walk away. He's not willing to give all this up yet. And for him, all this is the relationship and this connection to this dark energy that feeds him information and, in a sense, brainwashes him. There may be some drug use going on also, but this entity is definitely there. I cannot remove it with there. Everyone has free will, and I cannot go in and interrupt or intercede. And this energy actually, once again, is asking to enter me, to speak. No. So I'm going to step out now because this is not anything I can fix. This is up to fix. This energy, though, it's important to know, isn't strong enough to hurt others, to kill, to harm others. It doesn't feel that that is possible. The only way that would be possible if there is anger and rage behind. I don't necessarily feel there's enough there. Now, if he were to be taking drugs and this energy feeds off drugs, that's a different story. But sober and having this energy float around, he doesn't have the power to kill or to harm or to hurt others. It can scare others. It can threaten. And again, with the power out choice, free will behind it, I don't know, think yes, anything's possible. But this energy isn't strong enough to, overtake and control in that respect. I'm going to disconnect now.
Well,
I,
fascinating.
I remember now.
It all came back to you, right? So see,
Screaming back, yes.
it's always great to have a slightly produced version of an account there. But that had multiple layers to it. I mean, what started as a request, and then maybe it was like, okay, going into this could be a little dark, could be a little whatever. And then it becomes, oh, there's someone else involved, and oh, this person actually wants this, and navigating through that, and you basically sharing some insights. I mean, is there anything else that you would tack on to that?
Just the importance of conscious decision making. Just because if something's happening in your life and it's uncomfortable for you, or you aren't making a conscious decision to remove yourself from that, or speaking up, then you are making unconscious choices, and there still are repercussions. It's interesting because I'm a very outspoken person. I ask for what I want and I go for what I want. But when I meet people who aren't like that, and they um, don't ask for what they want and don't speak up when needed, there's this sense of, well, I don't want to create drama, and I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that. And that's not the situation, because if you don't say something or do something, something will be done to you. And I'm not talking about dark energy. I'm just talking about in relationship, at work, in general. Choices will be made for you. So do you want to make your choices, or do you want choices made for you? And, making conscious decisions daily means that you are grounded, and means that you are connected. And you have a daily practice of meditation, prayer, both, all of the above, and that, because what that does is it brings you to center. And so you can feel and see and hear what's going on behind the scenes, not just the noise in front of you of someone saying something to you that you don't like. You can go behind that and say, okay, they're saying this because they need blah, 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 blah. Well, I can give them that. They just don't know to ask for that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and
Um,
you could even simplify it. A lot of times we don't know what to ask for.
yeah.
And it's like, well, here's this issue, but or thinking that, well, here's the way to ask. Here's the thing to focus on. It's like, well, actually, this thing over here is what you need to focus on, and then
And
that will
that's what
fix all of this.
you're right. And that's why meditation and prayer is imperative, because you can then, if you don't know what to ask for, or you don't know where your position should be, or or where you want it to be, that's where you get into meditation, because then your intuition just, kind of washes over you, and there's this sense of, oh, that's the way I want that to go, you know?
Mhm. Exactly. All right, so let's actually slide on to some questions.
And also, if anyone out there ever has a situation or a case, please, of course, reach out.
Yes,
What's the email we're doing, Maryam? Oh no,
Maryam Live.
at Unexplained Cases.
Mhm. Yep. So if anybody watching this, you have a question, you have a request, yeah, Myram live at unexplainedcases.com, and I'll put that up on the screen here in just a little bit. Just wanted to make sure that I was getting some folks their questions in order. Looks like we'll start off with Debbie's question right here.
Oh, Debbie, that's a doozy. That might be bigger than just a. Um, what's your sister's name?
Let's say, Debbie, if you're still watching, if you can drop that into the chat, I'll switch over to that information.
I don't know that I can answer that. That's a very big question. I don't know that I can answer that right now. I think I'm going to need more information. I'm going to need a picture of her. Yeah. I'm sorry, Debbie. I'll just, connect with Rick offline, and I'll see how I can help you. Okay.
Yep. Next question, maybe a little less involving some intuition.
Can you recommend books on spiritual awareness? Oh, yes, Susan. I got my list together. So there's the books that I read are kind of old school books. Celestine Prophecy, Way of the Peaceful Warrior, The Book of Joy, and anything from Guru Singh, Singh. So I read those really fast. Sorry. Celestine Prophecy, Way of the Peaceful Warrior, The Book of Joy, and Guru Singh. Anything by Guru Singh. He's written a bunch. Spiritual awareness, though, most importantly, comes from you, and it comes from practice. It comes from your daily practice. So all of us have access to the universal mind, spirit, God, whatever you call it. We all have access to that information. So going into daily meditation practice is where you're going to start to gain that spiritual awareness. You'll be guided to certain books. You'll be given information in your meditation or throughout your day. And so I always like to stress with people, of course, reading is important, but more importantly is that daily meditation practice, so that you realize that you're a conduit to that universal mind, and any information you need comes from here. And again, that will come in different ways. It'll come in ways of sending you to lectures, sending you to books. But that daily meditation practice, you will hear me say over and over and over, gives you that power to use your own intuition to get you to where you want to go and learn everything you need to learn. Michelle. Okay, hang on. Let me get my deck. Let me get my big deck out. You are going through a hard time. Okay, so we're doing just one question at a time. So let me just start with your first question. So yeah, hold on. I'm looking at your picture. That's why I'm kind of staring at the screen, just so you guys know what I'm doing. There's family trouble because there's a lot of lying going on in your family. And it's like there needs to be justice. I don't know if it's for I don't know if it's for his death or for his for him. It's like there's the amount of I feel like there's this lack of caring that goes on. There's this, they do the right things and say the right things to show that they care, but they're underlying, there's like this lack of caring, and there's the sense of like, it's almost like, I don't know if it's money's more important to them, but there's something. You and your dad had a connection, and it was almost like, I feel like you and your dad had a connection no one else had. And that doesn't necessarily mean a good connection, okay? I don't know. Because a lot of times our soul teachers come in really bad, scary forms. I'm not saying that's the case, only you know the answer to this. But you and your dad had a connection other people didn't have. You are seeking truth and justice. And that might sound kind of big. And I don't necessarily mean it big. I just mean you're seeking, you have decided that you are looking for more. You're looking for some sense of like love, support, camaraderie. Like, what's going on, guys? Like, why am I out here by myself all of a sudden? And you're out there by yourself because you don't fit in with them, and you shouldn't fit in with them. You're going to feel alone for a while because you should remove yourself from the family troubles. You should remove yourself from that unnecessary drama that you don't need to be a part in. And you might say, oh, well, I live at home and I have this or I have that. I understand that. But you can still pull away and not be of the problem, not be in the middle of the chaos. You don't have to be involved as deeply as you think you do. Um, you need to mourn your father, and you need to mourn that independently. You need to write and journal about that relationship with him, whether it was negative or positive. I can't tell, just because it was so, that connection was so interesting. It's hard to tell. Um, it almost feels like there was more of a soul connection, and maybe physically it never really manifested to a deep connection, whereas you guys were more twin souls, that came back to teach each other in a way that, again, souls don't necessarily teach in a positive way. Some of the most negative experiences teach, but um, you need to journal about him, what life experiences you did have, how you feel. I'm not saying that, like, I'm not giving you general advice. This is specifically for you. Like, you need to deal with this privately. Don't include others, they're not going to understand. And remove yourself. You're caught up in drama that is none of your concern. Remove yourself from it and just allow yourself to mourn. That's what they're saying is imperative for you right now. And you will notice that things will start to calm for you. It won't calm for others, but it'll start to calm for you, and you'll feel a sense of normalcy again. Okay, Sue, you're stressed about your deal in Maryland. Can you tell me how it's doing? I'm assuming that's what you meant. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Sue. Switching decks. There we go. Sue. It feels like there's someone in, I don't know if it's a government or city or something, that is calling the shots and trying to, a lot of red tape, or there's just someone's holding this up. Someone is holding it up. Trust more the female energy around you more than the masculine. That has nothing to do with men being bad and women being good. It's just in this specific situation, they're saying the women around you are more trustworthy than the men. Keep in mind, is your husband involved? Because I feel like you just were like, well, it's my husband or something. I'm not saying don't trust your husband, but there's someone else. This deal is going to take a little bit more time. It's going to take a U-turn. You're going to feel like, if it hasn't already, you're going to feel like it kind of crashed and burned, and then it's going to resurface. Hang in there, okay? Just like you're like in a boat on the rapids, and you're being thrown all over the place, but stay in the boat. They're saying stay in the boat, stay the course. It may get worse before it gets better, or right now it's the worst before it gets better, but it's going to get better, and it feels like you are going to get what it is that you want out of it, what you need. Mary, any advice on taking care of anything negative, dark would be helpful. Are you saying you have something in your home that's dark energy? I'm not sure what you're asking. Are you saying any advice on taking care of anything negative or dark? Meaning you need to clear something dark? Are you feeling like there's something in your home that's dark that you need to clear? And do you want me to give you advice on how to clear that? Why don't we have Mary answer that question, and then I can come back to her for sure before we're done. And we could, Celine Michelle, which path should I choose? Okay. Hang on, I'm not sure which deck I want for you. Got like 6 of them on the ground here. Celine Michelle. I appreciate when you guys have your photos in the in your profile, because I use those to help me answer your question. Okay, so if you have a picture of yourself in there, great. They're saying pick the one you want, not the one that is being told you should pick. That didn't sound right. Pick the one that fills you, not the one that is appropriate. Even though both kind of work for you, there's one that fills you more and gives you more joy, but it's not conventional, and it's not what others would say is the right way, but it's actually going to lead you to another path. This is actually like, it's like, I feel like you're going kind of like through the back door here. Listen, you take the conventional route, you'll live a conventional life. That's not you. And I think that eventually you're going to end up on the beaten path, right? But you can get there going the long way or the short way. And right now, if you are in a position of which path you should choose, they're saying take the path go off road. Take the path that feels good and fills you. They're saying that's going to bring you to another path. Sorry, let me see if I get some more clarity. Go where your heart wants you to go. It's not going to necessarily bring you lots of money, but it's going to bring you a lot of joy, and it's going to bring you to the next step in your life, which is where you want to get to and will eventually need to get to. And they're saying you can get to this, like, so you have the 2 paths, right? Off the beaten path over here, right? Or the quote unquote correct path here. So if we get rid of this path and we go off the beaten path, and it's going to take you over here. And that's actually, I almost want to say, like, your destiny or your goal. That's where it's going to bring you. And yet there's not going to be a lot of money involved right away, but there's going to be passion there, and joy and what you want. Whereas the other path, let's say you took it, you would be on it for a bit before you finally jumped off and went over here anyway. Like it would just, it's like I see you like going in circles if you take the more conventional path, and eventually finally figuring out I gotta get off, and you jump off, and then you go over here and you end up on this path that's sitting here waiting for you. Did that make sense? Oh my god. That was so like I'm just trying to interpret what they're telling me. So if I can sum that up, don't take the conventional path, get off the road, and that's going to lead you to where it is you ultimately want to be. That's the short version. Diane, does my sister, dad, or mom have a message for me? My sister and dad passed in 2013. My mom passed last year in 20. Oh, Diane, I'm sorry to hear you went through so much. Let's see. Butterflies. You have a connection to butterflies and rainbows. Your dad and your sister take on the form of butterflies and rainbows to speak to you. They also are your immediate guides. They're right behind you, really strong. And your mom's making her way back. Your mom like went off she's like at spirit school. I call it, and then she's gonna come make her way around too. Like they are all just um, right there, very connected. Um, the message would hold on. Do you guys have a message for her? They're just saying, "Hey, we're right here. Like, start talking to us. Start using us as your guide. Start letting us help you. You got this." They see you. You help people, and if you're not doing work that's of service, do it because you have this ability to really help people, really make them feel good, really make them feel loved. You have this ability to really nurture and care for others. And your sister wants you to know that um, that ability is so profound in you. Make sure that you turn that onto yourself as well, and that you have something that you're doing to for self-care daily, but that if you're not already caring for others, that you should be. Now, it's in a way that fills you. It's not a painful type of, so if like you're in a job right now that's of service, like caretaker or nurse, I feel like it's a little different than that because it's something that really fills your soul. Now, if this work is filling your soul right now and it's not just like exhausting work, great. But you want to move to, if you're not already there, doing work that really fills your soul because you are an incredibly compassionate, giving person and you have a lot of people that you can help um, through your words, but also through your touch. Your mom's coming back around. She's going to be right there. So you're going to have three of them. All three of them are absolutely right there. Um, you're not alone. Okay. I can answer one of those. Let's look at love. Deborah, what do you see as far as love? Deborah. Okay, so Deborah, for love, is there a married man in your life, or a married man that, or maybe he's divorced, has family though? It seems like there's some man around you that has feelings for you. Is he's either married or was married with a pregnant wife or a wife that just gave birth. It feels like there's someone around you already that you may know. Maybe you don't seem really close with him, so maybe you haven't met him. It may be a friend of a friend or someone, and he feels married, which obviously is not what you want. It must be that he's newly divorced, or just maybe he's really close with his family or something. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but you've got someone, and he's a couple years older than you. He's in a suit. I don't know that he necessarily does conservative business type work, but the suit is representing his business is important to him. But he's got another like family. So if this person was already in your life and you left him, good. If you know who this is, be careful. It's not because it could be a bad relationship, but you want to make sure all lines are really clear on where everybody stands. But I feel like if none of this has come into your life yet, he might be coming in because it's a really strong connection you two have. So you're going to have to work that out. Doesn't mean it can't work by any means. You just got to make sure everything's really clear about where everybody stands. Okay. Who's Jay? Okay, what looking to hear from Jay? What is that a husband or is that someone that passed that you're wanting to hear from? I'm not totally sure what that question. Maybe Rick, you can get a little bit more information on that.
Yeah, I hesitated putting that up to see if I got anything additional.
Okay.
I was going to give her a minute to see if she'll
Did the other one
respond
respond
to that.
asked about the dark energy?
I don't believe I saw a response for them, and forgive me, folks, if I missed it because the chat is heated up.
Let's do
So
this. Let's do this, Rick,
I
since it's a
don't
lot for
recall
you.
seeing
You
that.
guys make sure to just email. If like I asked you to give me more information, we'll have you email me, and we'll make sure that you're first up next week. What's the email? Maryam the Medium
Oh,
Live.
yes,
Why
Maryam
can't I remember
Live, Maryam Live. Maryam Live at
Okay, we'll do one more, then
unexplainedcases.com.
we'll get out of here. And if you guys can email your questions, and we can get them lined up for next week. Okay, you can do that also. Remember, it's just one question. Make it simple. If it's harder, if it's complex, then we're gonna have to set up a reading that'll be different. Okay, but a straightforward question always helps. Okay. Let's see. Melanie, I have a feeling I need to know something. I just don't know what I've been meditating, read my cards. I can't put my finger on it. Melanie, I'm looking at your face, Melanie. Sorry. What is it? Is there something Melanie needs to know? Here's the thing, Melanie, when you're in situations like that, it's all about learning and teaching yourself. And that doesn't mean you don't go to outside readers for help. Of course, we all do. But this might be a situation where the time isn't right. It's, you need to be patient, and that information will come. I'm asking though, while I'm talking, I'm asking if there's something that I can pass, that I need to tell you, or something I need to know, something I just don't know. What I'm meditating on my cards. I can't put my. You're blocking. You are too heavy in the mind, and you are wanting change and wanting things to be different and look different, but you still rule more with your head than with your heart and with your gut. And there needs to be a balance between the three of them. You're working hard, but you're kind of beating your head. You're not working smart. So they want you to kind of pull back and take a day or two and just clear that mind. Like, don't do whatever it is you've been trying to do to push forward. Like, you got to let it go, and like they say, like, sleep on it, just let it go. You're blocking information because the mind is taking over with what ifs. And so you're blocking the information. They want you to step back, take a day or two, clear the mind, and get a better balance between your gut, your heart, and your brain, so that your mind isn't overpowering and you can't make decisions. Hopefully that helps.
All right, so we had said that we're going to let that be the last one for today. Excuse me. So quite a few other ones have been posted, guys. So we appreciate those immensely. And so the easiest thing to do would be if you could actually, and it's running along at the bottom of the screen right now, if you could just, if you didn't hear your reading, then just take your question, zip it over there. And then, yeah, just as a reminder, be very specific. I've had a lot of folks say, hey, I'd like a reading, which, okay, that's great. So just go ahead and put it out there, basically. It makes it easier than for me to have to try to jump in there, and creates a whole bunch of traffic in the chat there, basically. So just put it out.
Yeah, like what's your question? I want to know about love. I want to know about my job. Should I be leaving my job? Like, just one specific line. What is it that you want to know? And then we can power through them quicker.
So otherwise, folks, tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern,
Yes.
7 Pacific, join us back for Unexplained Cases Live. We'll be talking to Angela Boley, a psychic artist, and Darren Dito, of course, will be joining us as well. You'll have the trifecta and the whole team. And we appreciate everyone for joining us for this edition. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye,
Bye.
guys.